Hello guys, welcome in this new video. In this video we will be discussing about different variations of queues, and for that, moving forward, we have to first have the knowledge of the queues that I have covered in the previous video. So if you haven't checked that out already, then do check it out from the I button that will be popping at the top right corner of this video. And now with no further delay, let's get started. So basically, coming first to the priority queues. So priority queue is just an extension of a queue which has some defined property through which the items in that is basically popped out or dequeued. So the first property is that every item is having a defined priority, and based on that priority the elements are dequeued, and the element with the highest priority is dequeued first, and then with the lower priority elements will be dequeued after that. And if let's say there are two elements which are having same priority, then they will be served according to their order in the queue. That means let's say I have 4 and 4, the first 4 in the queue, and the first 4 number came in a time at t equals to 1 second. So after t equals to 2 seconds, another 4 came. So the 4 that will be dequeued will be the first 4 that came at t equals to 1 second. So like this. And one example can be that you can see that the priority is given based in here according to the ASCII values of these characters. So whenever we have inserted some characters and we want to remove it, then as the priority is set according to their ASCII values, so as C is having the least ASCII value and O is having the highest ASCII value, hence O will be removed first because of its high priority. And similarly, when I and N are inserted, then the ASCII value of N is the highest, so it is having the highest priority, hence N will be popped out or dequeued from the queue first. Now the priority queue actually supports these three kind of operations. So one is the insert item with its priority. So basically it inserts an item with given priority, and the highest priority returns the highest priority item, and delete highest priority actually removes the highest priority item. Okay, you can implement this using arrays as well, and basically the insert operation in this array can be implemented in order of one item. And if you want, you can see this implementation in arrays as well, but the basic thing that we have to keep in mind is the logic as to how it works and what is it. And we can also implement it using heaps. And coming to the application of priority queue, so basically it is used in CPU scheduling and the graph algorithms like Dijkstra's shortest path algorithm or Prim's minimum spanning tree, etc. And all queue applications where priority is involved, this priority queue is used there. So in general, priority queue is implemented using heap. So this thing has to be kept in mind. So yeah, it is also used in data compression technique. So as Huffman codes are used to compress data, so the queue can be used there as well. Also in artificial intelligence, an A-star algorithm is there, which is used to find the shortest path between two vertices of a weighted graph. So this always as gives the most promising routes. So priority queue is also used here to keep track of unexplored routes. And heap sort is typically implemented using heap, which is an implementation of priority queue. Okay. And also in the operating systems, it is also used in load balancing and on the load balancing of the servers as well. So if you are somewhat similar with the cloud technologies, then you will be familiar with this term as well. So load balancing just means that balancing the load of the users that are actually hitting the server, so that the server do not gets overburdened with the requests and do not fail. So main thing is that. And coming to the circular queue, so basically circular queue is another linear data structure and a variation of queue, and in this it also follows the FIFO order of insertion and deletion. Basically in here, the last element, after the last element, it is connected back to the first element. So you can say it as a ring buffer as well. So you can see in here it can be there, but basically actually it doesn't look like this in when we implement, because we do not have such kind of thing in memory. Okay, so this is just a visualization so that we can understand it clearly. And in normal queue we insert elements until the queue becomes full, but once the queue is full we cannot insert the next element even if there is space in front of the queue. But in this circular queue we can do that, because we can just again insert to the elements the space where the elements can be fit. So operations that can be performed is on this circular queue is that front, which returns the front of item of the queue, and rear, which gets the last item of the queue. And queue basically is used to insert element in the circular queue, and we have to somewhat check these conditions so that there cannot be any error. And dequeue is also the same as was discussed in the previous video. So it is used to delete an element from the circular queue as well. And again we have to check these conditions so that we do not get into any error. And the implementations you can see in the article if you want in different languages. So time complexity of NQ and DQ operation is order of 1, as there is no loop in any of the operation, and its application are in memory management, traffic system, and CPU scheduling. Okay, And in memory management, like the unused memory location in case of ordinary queues can be utilized in the circular queues, as I explained. And in traffic system, like circular queues are used to switch on the traffic lights one by one repeatedly as per the time is set. Okay. And in CPU scheduling as well, the operating system often maintains a queue of processes that are ready to execute or that are waiting for a particular event to occur. So this was for this circular queue. Now coming to the DQ part. So DQ is, as I told in the previous video, do not confuse this DQ with the DQ operation. In the that DQ operation has the spelling as DEQUEUE, but this is only DEQUE. This is basically a short form for doubly ended queue, and in this the main thing is that we can insert and delete at both the ends, like from the front as well and also at the rear as well. Okay. So operations on DQ are like this: insert in front, insert at last, like insert last, delete front, delete last, and they are equivalent to their names, and you can just understand them quickly by their name of methods and like what they do. And some more operations are like get front, get rear, is empty, is full. And coming to the applications of DQ, so as DQ supports both stack and queue operations, so it can be used as either stack or as a queue. And the DQ data supports clockwise and anti-clockwise rotations in order of one time, which can be used in various applications as well. So if you want, you can also see its implementation in different programming languages, but still I have somewhat discussed it in the previous videos as well. Like there is a library in Java, STL in C++, so they can be used to implement in DQ in different languages. So one more thing is that a general kind of thing is that DQ can be implemented either using doubly linked list or circular array, and as in both the implementation we can have order of one time. So this was it for today, and I hope you understood whatever was required. So it was a general overview. So till the next video, keep watching and keep learning.
Anchor.